Good afternoon, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. What a show today. We've been able to book the Click Father. You heard right, the Click Father, Mr. Kevin De Vincenzi. And he is the CEO of Rapid Response Marketing, XY7.com, XY7 Elite. He is the king of affiliate marketing. We're going to get into it. There's so much to talk about here with Kevin. Kevin, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Andy. My pleasure.
You know, it's not too often you get the Click Father on a show, and I have so many questions to talk about. Let's pull the lens back a little bit just to begin with. Let's talk about affiliate marketing. Maybe for the younger entrepreneurs watching the show, let's give them a little color about what affiliate marketing is all about, and then we'll get into it.
Sure. So from a generality, affiliate marketing is you have an advertiser, somebody that's got something to sell. You have a publisher that has found traffic that will work for that supposed offer. We bridge the gap in between both of those. So we're the conduit between, say, the buyer and the seller. So that's really affiliate marketing, where it's performance-based for the most part, whether it's a click, a sale, a lead, and you're monetizing and you're driving the traffic to achieve that goal. And
that's awesome.
Marketing from its inception, and I love it because you never have to worry if you're doing a good job, because you'll know if you're doing a good job if you're getting those leads and those sales. I mean, there is more to it, but from a surface, that's how you can measure your success.
Well, that's awesome, Kevin. You're obviously doing a great job. You've made the Inc. 5000 top growing companies for 2 years in a row. Your parent company, Rapid Response Marketing, owns a number of wonderful other companies, other domains, other avenues of helping your customers get business. Let's pull the lens back a little bit. Let's talk about Rapid Response Marketing. Tell us what it's all about.
So you summed it up as far as that's our parent company that holds all our different other companies. We have XY7 Elite.com, which is our affiliate network. We do all our affiliate management through there. The network built by super affiliates for super affiliates. So the difference between us and your traditional affiliate marketing company is we buy the same media that you're buying, in the sense that we're buying to the same offers. So we have that insight, that knowledge to give you as an affiliate or as a publisher to be successful, which a lot of times you don't get that insight. I mean, that's my frustration on the other end. If I'm acting as an affiliate and asking an account manager, give me some metrics on this offer. How's it converting? What are you seeing? What traffic sources work? That's the data that I need as a media buyer to do a good job, or as an affiliate. A lot of companies don't do that. We provide everything. A lot of times we'll take on an offer, we'll test it internally, we'll spend our money, we'll put the metrics, and then we'll say, hey, you know what, Andy, this is working. It looks like it's going to be a good opportunity. You go ahead and run with it. Here's everything that we've created for it. Here's the creative. Here's the landing page. Here's the metric. Here's our keyword list. Like, we'll give them everything to make them successful, because we know as a company, we can only grow by expanding and by expanding the opportunities. And although I buy almost $8.5 million a year of media myself personally, I can't take every campaign. I can start them, I can get them going, but I can't really manage each and every one on a daily basis on top of running the company. It just doesn't work. But I do my best to try.
I know you do, Kevin, and your reputation is what it is today, because you've been at this for so long. You started off in email marketing back in 1997. In 2000, you started the affiliate network, which at that time was called a different name than what you currently have. And
ROI Deals Daily.
Yeah, and you cut your teeth. You learned it for 20 years. This is really incredible. You've been in it for so long. That's why they call you, the Godfather, or the Click Father, if you will. So when a company wants to increase their sales, they reach out to you or one of your members of your team, Kevin. What's the onboarding process? How do you figure out whether you can help a company or not with your rapid response marketing?
Sure. So the onboarding process is fairly simple. I mean, there's an initial call that'll happen, and the call will be more to identify that the client's a good fit for us, meaning that we know that we can do a good job for them. And a lot of that would be that they understand their metrics, kind of like what I alluded to a little while ago from from the publisher end. The same thing with an advertiser. If you're the advertiser, Andy, and you're trying to sell that beautiful painting behind you, and you don't understand the metrics behind that, I really don't want to take you on as an advertiser, because then you're not going to understand the value that I'm bringing. And that's the biggest challenge in this industry, is understand when you provide the value. I know where my value proposition is, and I know how I can present that to a client. But if you don't know or you can't appreciate the value I'm bringing, then it doesn't matter. I can do the most bang up job and you're never going to know because you don't understand your business well. So our thing is to, let's say it's a subscription client, so they understand their LTV, their lifetime value. They understand what their acquisition cost should be, what their churn is, what their attribution rates are. I'll ask a lot of very quick questions where, at times they'll say, hey, am I hiring you or are you hiring me? And it's, it's a partnership. It has to fit for both of us. I can tell you the average tenure of our clients is over 9 years. So our clients stay with us, they don't leave. It's just having that relationship where we can both work together. We both understand each other's goals and we do what we do best. So I'll learn as much as I can about your business, Andy, but I don't want to run your business. I'll understand the ins and outs and everything to let me do the best job possible, but then let me do my job. So if you're going to sit there and say, hey, I want to see your keyword list, I want the ad to be this, that's not for us. We do what we do best. There's a reason for it. We understand performance marketing in and out. So that's the way that we work most effectively.
Kevin, I love it. And we talk about it all the time on the show, Pardon Me, where people need to specialize in what they do and let the experts do what they do. And what you're saying is people have an offer, they have something they want to sell. They probably really understand that offer, what they're selling, the value to their customer, but they probably don't understand how to become an expert in what you offer, which is driving traffic to those companies. Now, when we think about affiliate marketing, Kevin, how does it work? Has it changed at all? Is it a pay-per-click? Is it a pay-per-lead, a pay-per-sale, lifetime customer? Yeah,
I mean, a lot of it hasn't changed in regards to the way it's calculated. So it could be, the action points could be totally different. We'll go back to the painting, whether you want to sell that as a one-time purchase or as a trial offer, or, there's different ways that you can do that. It's just understanding that conversion point. Is that conversion point a lead? Is that conversion point somebody putting in their email? So it's understanding where the conversion point is, and then the client understanding what they need to get to their end goal and to get their ROI. Another thing that we focus on is we will also consult on traffic buys, meaning that you want to do it yourself. You say, you know what? I don't want an agency. I don't want to do a CPA deal, a cost per acquisition deal. We want to buy our own traffic. Can you train our team so we can buy to the right numbers? We do that as well, so that you can effectively do everything on your own and run independently.
That's awesome. It's awesome, Kevin. And you've helped so many different types of companies. The retention rate that you have at Rapid Response Marketing is through the roof, probably the highest in the industry. It's absolutely amazing. Right now, we just got through, we're coming through COVID, hopefully, God willing, it'll work its way out of the system a little bit. Is there anything right now that seems to be the types of verticals or offers that are really knocking the cover off the ball in this affiliate marketing space?
In home services, obviously, because everybody has now shifted to working from home, doing everything from their home, there's a big influx. And we personally put a big focus on our pay-per-call division starting in, we'll say, April of last year. Huge influx. I mean, we're about 600% growth year over year in that company or that division, because more people are answering the phone. More people are apt to a phone call and they have the time now. Where before everybody's just, running. Oh, I don't have the time to talk about my mortgage, or I don't have the time to evaluate my health insurance. Now, in those markets, people are evaluating it a lot more because they have the time to think. They have the time. They're not rushing to dance class and this class and that class. So that we've seen a big growth, and pretty much, we have our podcast, Internet Traffic Kings, that we've been taking a break on. But what we had said all through the beginning of COVID was just focus on helping people. Don't worry about the money right now. Focus on how you can help people and what services you can provide that would be helpful. And that's really the shift that we've taken over the past year. It's helped us diversify and also help us grow as a company quite dramatically.
That's awesome. Well, let's dive into the pay-per-click model that you have, your pay-per-click company or a pay-per-call company.
Yep.
You're doing an amazing job. It's up 600%. So the job is basically to do a type of advertisement that drives a call to your client.
To our client on a set duration. So you have a tax service, Andy, you say, Kevin, I need consumers with $10,000 in debt in these 5 states. And, my question back to you will be, Andy, how long do you need to qualify that you have a qualified call? Is it 90 seconds, is it 120 seconds, et cetera? You'll give me that time, and then we'll onboard it, we'll drive traffic to it, and then we'll tweak it live to be able to get to everybody's desired results.
Wow, I love it. I love it. So if I'm someone that wants some calls driven to me, maybe in the home services space, I reach out to you through, it's not XY7 Elite, it's one of your other companies, right?
No, you could just Kevin at xy7.com is fine, or Kevin at xy7elite.com. I mean, my info is widely available out there.
Beautiful. So you just go to XY7, you talk about it, and you can get calls driven directly to your phone. I mean, what a better way to improve your business, increase your business. Kevin and his expert team will work with you and drive calls on a pay-per-call basis based on a certain duration that is understood by both parties to be a qualified lead. So this is really, really an amazing opportunity for a lot of companies out there to get those qualified leads in a meaningful way.
When you think about it, right? I'm not just bringing you a customer to your door. I'm also letting you play with them for a little while before we charge you for them. So it's a great model. We love it, and the clients love it because it's, how can you beat it?
You can't beat it. So let's stay in this tack, because this is very interesting. I'm sure for people watching, I'm sure a lot of people watching the show saying, wow, this is interesting. This is sort of a new way, even though it's been around for 20 years, but it might be a new way, at least for me, to be thinking about how to generate some leads and some phone calls. I need to reach out to Kevin and sort of talk about this. So when we're thinking about the phone calls, one thing that might concern me is you're driving all these calls to your customers. How do they pick up all the calls? I mean, what if they get overburdened with phone calls?
That's done on a CC basis. So we have a very intricate system. We use a company called ringbud.com, which, Adam Young's a good friend of mine, 15 years. They came up with a great technology. So we'll route it based on a CC basis, a concurrent basis. So if it's a larger market, say it's, Medicare, we do over 1,400 Medicare calls a day for Medicare's Part A and B. We'll just route and say, okay, so Andy's got 10 reps, he'll get 4 calls concurrently. And then John's got, 6 reps, he'll just get 1 call concurrently. And we map it that way. Is it a perfect science? No, but it pretty much works, especially in our larger markets. If it's a smaller market that we're testing, we'll just adjust it by our traffic flow, meaning that we'll buy less traffic until they can branch out. But I can tell you, we started with, going back to tax, we started with a tax client on pay-per-call 2 years ago, and he was a 6-person organization just buying from us exclusively. That's all he did. He's now at 31 people, and he just keeps raising his budget over and over again. He keeps raising, his reps, his call center, what have you. So we'll grow with the company, providing they have what they need on their end to make themselves successful.
That is awesome. Now, you mentioned you spend millions and millions of dollars on a yearly basis on advertising. Right. Let's talk about your team a little bit, because I know you're not a one-man parade here. You just can't be building, one of Inc. 5,000, top growing companies for 2 years in a row. So the team that you have surrounded around you, how do you go about selecting someone to join your dynamic team? What's the first thing you look for?
Our team are all industry experts. So the average tenure of anybody on my team is 15 years plus in this space. So I've got, people that have worked on the Tempur-Pedic campaign, $20 million a month spend. I've got, people with vast knowledge. And basically what we do, the way that we structured our company, is we team up with these people. So they're not an employee, they're more of a partner of ours, and they'll work in their niche. So if it's mass tort, which we do a lot of too, your lawsuits, your talcum, your roundup, we're currently very heavy in clergy abuse. Mormon sex abuse, sex trafficking. We do a lot of lead generation for those as well. I've got a gentleman that just focuses on that. That's his niche. He understands it front and back, and that's what he focuses on. If it's Medicare and health insurance, I've got somebody else who just focuses on that. That's what they do. That's what they manage. So it just keeps it very tight business, and you're always going to have an expert in your field. So whatever you're in, we're going to assign the expert to that who's managing your campaign, so that you're always dealing with an expert.
So I don't want to have you give up any of your secret sauce, but so that the people can understand what's going on with the ClickFather at Rapid Response Marketing. Where do these ads appear? Do your ads appear on Facebook or Twitter or Google?
Sure.
Give us a little color on that.
It depends on the vertical. So if it is education is a big vertical for us, especially in non-US countries, and that is primarily Facebook. There is some Google, but primarily Facebook. 6 figures a month on Facebook for that campaign. If it is calls, like our motor vehicle accident calls, we have a dentist program, 1-800-DENTIST, 24 hours, reach a dentist, that's Google. So it really depends on the traffic. We'll test a lot of different sources at the beginning, and then we'll see what's most effective, not just for us, but for you as well as the client, because there is different traffic. If you look at, you have a Facebook account, right, Andy?
Yes.
All right. So Facebook you look at, and that's more like your browsing, right? I might want to have that. Now you go to Google or Bing, and it's intent driven. I need this. Let me Google about this. Let me find out more information. So you have a much better customer. So Facebook's like to have, that's interesting. Google is bang. Yes, this is what I need. Take me there. So that's the difference. So again, depending on the product, if you've got some new state of the art swing set for kids, probably better on Facebook, little video, and because not many people are going to search for that particular thing. You can tell more of a story. But if it's something that you need a dentist, you need a doctor, you need a lawyer, you want to refinance your mortgage, you're better being on something that's intent driven, because that consumer is making that phone call or filling out that lead with the intent of doing a transaction or getting more information. That's
awesome, Kevin. I know that one of the ways in which you've made your mark is with data. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I would imagine it's very important that when your company drives traffic to a landing page, that landing page converts. So how do you make sure that the landing page is the right landing page for the offer, and that you get those customers to convert?
It comes down to taking the time to test. So testing using products like Visual Website Optimizer, looking at your conversions. A lot of people, they'll make one landing page and that's it. Come hell or high water, that's it. And there's so many tweaks you can do to a landing page to increase the conversions. So Mouse Flow is another great product. It's kind of like the olden days of the VCR, where you can watch the users and how they interact with a page. So you literally replay that session and see what are they clicking, where are they hovering, are they reading the terms, and you can make adjustments from there. So it's always a moving target, Andy. And then it's the balance also between a high converting creative and a good quality lead. Because we can get a high converting creative that produces garbage, right? On the other end, where it's somebody that just thinks, it's a sweepstakes or what have you. I mean, we've done successful sweepstakes even for companies like LendingTree, where we're giving away a Porsche Boxster or something, but you have to clearly make a distinction where you're not advertising win a Porsche Boxster. You're advertising, hey, get a great rate on your mortgage, and by the way, we'll enter you into win a Porsche Boxster. So if you can differentiate that, so you maintain the quality, you're in great shape. But it comes down to testing at the end of the day.
Well, that makes all the sense in the world. And obviously lead quality is very important, and a very important metric. So for the entrepreneurs watching this show, the CEOs and the founders and the CMOs of their particular companies, when you try and do something on your own and you don't have the expertise of the 20 plus year experience of a company like Rapid Response, you run into challenges, because conversion is about percentages. And if you don't have somebody like Kevin and his team watching those landing pages and tweaking them, you know, it could be the matter of one word or one color or one combination that can make all the difference in the world on the landing pages. And this is what Kevin and his team can provide companies like yours that really need this expertise. Am I paraphrasing that right, Kevin?
You are, but let's talk a little bit more about lead quality, because, you know, one of my famous lines on my sales calls is, you know, if you want McDonald's, go to McDonald's. We're the steak and the lobster of the industry. And I say that not really in jest, because if, you know, I had a meeting a couple of weeks ago in Vegas with a larger law firm, you know, and the guy said, oh, well, you know, Kevin, I don't need the motor vehicle leads from you because I'm buying them so much cheaper from XYZ company. And I said, I understand you are. They're buying my leads, but they're buying all my trash. They're buying all the stuff I can't sell anywhere else. And he goes, what? And I go, that's correct. And the challenge with that is, what's your contact rate? Well, my contact rate is X. I said, that's great. You know what my contact rate is? If you buy a premium lead, it's this. So do you see how, yes, you're going to pay more money for a lead, but you're going to get a much higher conversion rate and you're going to be more efficient. So why do you want to, again, you want McDonald's, you want junk, you want to keep all your phone room guys, you know, dialing for nothing, go for it. But if you want a highly qualified lead, you're going to pay for it, but you're going to get the conversion out of it. So your cost per acquisition will probably be lower, but that's the big challenge. You know, you just mentioned a minute ago or two, you know, anybody can go out and say, I want to buy leads, and they'll go, you know, to Google and they'll put in, I want to buy leads, and they'll get all these lead brokers that essentially you don't know where the traffic was generated. You don't know if it was a co-registration path, meaning like somebody just clicked the button of a question to win something and they just took their information and shipped it over. You don't know how qualified they are. So is it cheap? Sure, but it doesn't convert. So, you know, what would you rather have, Andy? Something that converts, you know, subpar 1%, or something I give you converts at 15%? It's like, Kevin, give me 50 of the 15% a day. I'll close 20% of those and I'm great, right? Or give me the sub 1% and I'm just wasting man hours and time. I mean, it's all data quality. We recently just launched our own co-registration path, fully licensed, bonded, every state, pretty much like a publisher's clearinghouse, right? It's called consumerselections.com, consumer-selections, just for the sole reason, Andy, of data quality. Because for ourselves and our phone rooms, because we also own and operate phone rooms, the data that we were getting out there was garbage. So we said, you know what, we're going to create our own path that's still in the same sweepstakes type environment to generate this data for our phone room, but we're going to keep it very clean, very compliant, and at least we're going to know exactly what's coming in. Because we know with good data, everybody performs, you know, so that's where we're at as far as the data goes.
Well, I love it. It makes all the sense in the world. You know, you'd rather have, 100 phenomenal leads than 1,000 terrible leads. The 1,000 terrible leads are going to burn your people out. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. It's going to
lead, right?
Right. It's going to muck up your system. You're going to have people quitting. You're going to have a cost to hire new people. Just immense problems with bad and terrible leads. So the example you gave in Las Vegas of the attorney who says, I'm buying a lot of leads a lot cheaper. Well, it's costing him so much more money in the long run by buying those cheap leads when he can buy, the king of the leads. He can buy the best of the leads, maybe pay a little bit more for those leads, but overall his ROI is increased dramatically. And that's, I think, makes a lot of sense in the world. So let's move on to entrepreneurship a little bit, Kevin, because we have a lot of people that watch the show. They're going to watch this. Certainly companies are going to want to reach out to talk to you about what you can do to help them not only get, qualified leads, but, to talk about their offer and to get ingrained with what you do at the company, at Rapid Response Marketing. So when we think about entrepreneurship, there's a lot of younger people that watch the show, and they're going to be watching you, Kevin, and they're going to say, wow, this guy's been in it for 22 years. He started off as an email marketer. He opened his first affiliate network in 2020. He's very successful. He's the go-to guy for a lot of industries. He's got his pay-per-call business now up 600% over the last year. He's a two-time award winner with the Inc. 5000 as, a fast-growing company. But they're going to question, has he always been successful? Has he ever skinned his knees? Has he ever had any problems? Because when younger entrepreneurs see people like you, they wonder, did you ever have a challenge, or was it always, a rosy bed of roses? So maybe you could talk about that a little bit to the younger entrepreneurs and give them some motivation to keep them pushing through the hard times.
We have had challenges, along the way, obviously. And the thing is, what happens with a challenge? You can learn from your mistake and move on. You're in good shape. As far as, was it all given to me or was it easy? My 25-year-old daughter, when she was born, I was homeless. Okay. So I literally built this from the ground up, and I built it in a sense of that's where the opportunity was on the internet. It's still there. So if you find your niche and you find what you want, and you always focus on providing value. If you can understand why you're in a deal and where your value prop is, that's the biggest mistake a lot of these entrepreneurs don't understand, is they don't know where the value proposition is. They just go in and they're like, yeah, I have A, I have B, let me try and make a deal. They don't conceive that for a long-term deal, you have to continually provide value to your client. And if they can understand that's a big thing. The other pitfalls that I've seen, not for us, but that I've seen many affiliates run into, is understanding the cash flow and understanding the business. Because it's great when you're making a lot of money, but at some point, if you don't understand that you have taxes to pay and insurance to pay and how to run your business properly, a lot of these guys will go under. The last point that I'll make is evolve or die, meaning you have to constantly evolve. COVID hit in February. Our largest client that was spending $142,800, $560,000 a month dropped, just flat drop, no notice, said we want to hang on to our cash. So that was, a large part of our revenue. We had to flip it and say, okay, pick ourselves up, dust off, and what do we do? What are the other opportunities we already have, and how do we maximize those? Something old-time internet marketer as well told me 20 years ago, and it always stuck with me. He said, internet marketing is like all these gold coins are falling from the sky, and you have these two little cups. So you have to position your cups properly on the right opportunity to get those gold coins. And that's very valid. So if you find the right opportunity, you find, do what you love, right? Do what you love. You never work a day in your life. So find the right opportunity, something that you have passion about, something that you want to learn, and treat it that way. And don't just focus on the ROI. Don't just focus on, I made, $500 today. I made $1,000 today, because that's short term. That's new money. It comes and it goes very quickly. You need to look at long term. But what is this client going to forecast me over 6 months if I grow with them, over a year, over 2 years? Run it like a business, not just a hustle. I mean, that's the best advice I can give.
I love it. And you mentioned keep on evolving. In the old days, they used to say, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to keep on getting what you've always got.
Sure.
In today's world, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to lose everything you have. And I think you summed it up nicely, Kevin.
Here's the advantage. I had a call with a large search management company out of the UK today. When I say large, they're handling Fortune 500 clients. And the gentleman told me, he said, Kevin, here's why guys like you actually didn't just survive COVID, but you actually, you excelled. He said, because you do change very quickly, where the larger companies take so much time to make a change. So his observation was the smaller companies that went out of business during COVID because they relied on the larger companies who couldn't evolve. So the ones that do evolve, so you have to constantly evolve, keep your ear to the ground. I think you and I spoke, pre-interview last week. We test a lot, the PayPal, which was X Bank. We tested them back when they were X.com. We were one of the largest affiliates. Spotify, we tested when it first came out. So Blockbuster, when it first came out, Vonage, like all these companies, when they first came out, we were one of the first guys to test them and do big volume for them. That's where you can be first to market and find a great opportunity. But at the end of the day, if you're looking to build a stable business, then build it like a business. Cover everything, ask for help. Get a mentor, understand all the nuances that can happen. Because there's a lot, right, Andy? I mean, it's evolved so much. I mean, now I spend 6 figures a year on insurance. You know what I mean? Where 15 years ago, you're like, insurance. Who needs? I have regular business insurance. I mean, now you've got TCPA insurance and so many different add-ons to protect what you've built. It's a totally different market.
You're 100% right, Kevin. Well, I tell you, this has been more even more than I thought it would be on this conversation. We covered so much ground. I know that you only sliced out a certain amount of time for me. I know you're talking to people all over the world. For people that want to reach out to Kevin, it's Rapid Response Marketing, or of course, xy7.com. And he or one of his team would be happy to get back with you to talk about what they can do for you.
Yeah, I'm on Skype. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm one of the most approachable CEOs. So Skype, LinkedIn, Telegram, I'm on them all. So
I love it. And that's why you are the king of internet traffic, like it says behind you. And I love the moniker, the Click Father. I call you the king of affiliate marketing, Kevin. This has really been a delight and an honor to have you on the show. And thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Andy. Really appreciate it.